Well, good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana weather. It is Sunday morning, and it is about 8:45 a.m. in the morning. Wanted to get a quick video update out here for you this morning. It's been since Thursday afternoon, whenever I was covering severe weather. Since I did one of these videos, I intentionally took Friday and Saturday off to be with the family and just have some family time and just enjoy a little bit of much-needed rest after the active weather pattern we've been in. We're entering kind of a slower weather pattern now, which can be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on whether you favor that type of weather or not. The bad thing that's coming with it is a little bit of much cooler weather that we'll talk about here in today's video. Good news is I don't see any mega snowstorms coming up this week, and I know that's on most everybody's good news list. We do have a few chances, but nothing major, and we'll talk about that here as we go through it. Today's video update being sponsored by High Voltage Mobile DJ Service. You can contact Nathan at 630-9465. Visit him on the web at djhighvoltage.com, and then make sure to tell him Southern Indiana Weather sent you. All right, we got a little bit of light snow breaking out to our north. This is in advance of a cold front that's going to be pushing through the area today. Now, we may see a few flakes of snow out of this, but we're not going to see accumulations. Accumulations look to be really confined more into this state. If we looked at radar last night, the band was more up in here. The cold front is slowly pushing to the south. By the time it gets into our area, I'm expecting us in large part to be close to 40 degrees. So even if we do have some wet snow mixing in, it's going to be more of a heavier rain threat. And I'm questioning how heavy the rain threat would be with this anyway. If I just take off the snow shield on here and just put the regular view to it, you can see it's not even, if this were rain, and it's not, it would be fairly light rain at that, not a heavy type of an event. So nothing major to worry about for most of us today. Let's time it out by future radar, give you an idea of what to expect here. And the future radar, this is the latest TER model. This is the highest resolution model we have, and it actually has not even caught this band. As you go through time here, it has not even caught this band on in the morning. That's because if you notice, the band just sort of seemingly develops out of nowhere spontaneously. So we'll see whether it holds together or not, but just very quickly this rolls together. Future radar doesn't even have a handle on that, but again, as we go through this, I think you'll get an idea of at least the precipitation type to be expected today. So there's some errors already in the radar, and keep that in mind, but what you notice is as you go through much of the day, once it does start to develop here, it becomes primarily a rain type of an event, and just some light to moderate rain at that. Notice a few shades of blue mixing in, so it's a little bit of snow potentially mixing in with this, and then it's largely gone by this evening. So future radar is not indicating a threat to us for snow today at all. If, however, you go take a look on this, you see a little bit of snow here, and so places up here around the Sullivan area, Bloomington area, Terre Haute, you're probably experiencing a little bit of snow right now. If I just put the weather on, Bloomington's actually reporting light rain rather than snow, and Robinson up around here is reporting light snow, so light snow up here around the Columbus area as well. So it's kind of a mixed bag with what you get in here, but as this pushes its way south today, I expect it to become more of a rain threat for us. Again, this is going to take a couple, 3 hours before this band really starts to push its way to the south. So a few sprinkles today and maybe a few flakes of snow mixing in. But again, no road problems because I think we're going to be in good shape temperature-wise. All right, let's talk about more of the week ahead because we've got some really beautiful weather headed our way. We've got a little bit of that rain and rain-snow mix potentially for today. The GFS wants to blow it up a little bit more than the high-res models do, and that might be a possibility given the way the current radar is actually looking. But again, with us being at 36 down closer to the river, and if this moves over us, it's going to have a very hard time sticking. So no travel problems expected as for what I'm saying. Then we come into some very nice days, precipitation free, mostly sunny, partly cloudy type of days. Slight little disturbance moves through here on Tuesday, which could bring a few flakes of snow to the area, but nothing to write home about. Then high pressure takes us large and in charge by Wednesday, and that's actually going to cool us down pretty significantly on Wednesday night. If you kept up with the Facebook page, you notice I did post a few things rather than doing videos. I posted an occasional graphic every once in a while and kept the forecast updated. But one of the graphics I posted was how the GFS was hinting at us going below zero again. Looks like it has backed off of that now up to the low teens into our area, single digits, a little bit more toward the north. That's a little better than below zero weather, but it's still pretty cold and it's significantly below normal. The normal high is 50 this time of year. The normal low is 29. So if we're talking any low in the low teens, then we're talking a good 20 degrees or so below normal. Maybe even 30 degrees by the time you get down to the low single digits, if that pans out. So it's going to be cold no matter how you cut it. And this high pressure just sitting over us, it's going to make for some mostly clear nights. And rather than rising air and clouds, you get sinking air under a high pressure, and you get cloud free. And rather than the heat being able to bounce off the clouds and back down to the earth as it's released from the ground, it just goes straight up into the sky and we cool down quicker. So looks like we're headed for some very cold nights with that high pressure coming right over us. Then as you go through here, we stay pretty decent for a few days. By the time Friday comes, we got a little bit of a rain, potentially to rain snow mix coming in for our area again. And you can see that's from a low pressure that's skirting along to our south. Let's just talk about it by our precipitation type map so that we can give you an idea to time it out. Here we are by 1 in the afternoon on Friday, and you can see that rain starting to move in a little bit. Starts to overtake parts of the area. And then very quickly you notice by Friday night, here's Saturday morning, Friday night at 1 a.m., you've got some light snow showers mixing in on the northern side of this as it moves through, and then it transitions into some light snow showers and even some freezing drizzle potentially over part of the area. So this could be a mess. It doesn't look like it would be a heavy accumulating snow, maybe on the order of an inch or less for anything, and probably far less than that. It may be more like a light annoying coating. The freezing drizzle I'm not so excited about, as I'm sure you're probably not either. So this is something that we're going to have to watch. Again, we're talking 6 days or so away from now, so a lot can change between now and then. But keep an eye out that the next Friday night into Saturday morning could be a bit of a mess. Now going beyond that system, we do have some others in the works that could bring us some chances for accumulating snow. But again, once you get past maybe 10 days or so in the models, the record of performance on any model past that point is just not overly good. So keep it with a grain of salt. But as you can see, we do have some rain chances coming in. Notice we have a lot of these lows that move to our south, and that's because the cold weather bubble sorts of comes down and invades our area, pushes these systems more towards the Gulf. So that's favoring of a southern track for some of these storms. Once the cold weather retreats, we might be able to get more into that type of a system. But you notice this one, here we are on Tuesday, Monday night, March 3rd, Tuesday morning, March 4th. You've got another southern tracking low. And this would be a snow event for us if it did happen. It wants to bring some heavier precipitation amounts on the order of 2 to 4 inches for us. But again, that's a rough total, and this is way far out. So whether that will happen or not is, well, it'll likely change track of some fashion. So let's just understand that. But it's a potential one we can look out for. Here was a little bit of light snow potentially moving through the area on Thursday, March 6th as well. You got some more rain moving in. And then watch this system for Saturday, March 8th. This is an interesting one that we want to keep an eye on and see what it does. Notice how it moves. It sort of forms a low over the Rockies, dives down. We're at 1,002. Now we're at 1,005, and then watch very quickly it goes from 1,005 to 996. It's a very strong, deepening low pressure system. Remember how these work? That pumps in, whenever they go low that fast, a lot of warm, moist air up into our area. This is exactly the same type of setup that we saw on Thursday that brought us heavy snow up here to the Iowa, Minnesota area and severe weather for us. So again, this is something that we're going to have to clearly watch because it's a very similar type of setup. Could this be another severe weather maker? Well, if you look at the temperature profile for this, it certainly warms us up to near the 60-degree mark. So it's in play. The upper level dynamics I won't show you because they're just not that impressive. They're there, but they're not in sync right now. But again, we're 336 hours out from the model when this initialized to be able to see this. So we're many days out at this point, but it's one that we want to keep an eye on because it does have a similar look to what we just experienced on Thursday. And on Thursday, of course, every county in the area, with the exception of just a very, very few, went under some type of either a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning. Could we be looking at another event like that again here on Saturday, March 8th into the Sunday night, overnight hours on Saturday night? Yeah, it's possible. Again, it's something that's not set in stone, but we'll want to keep an eye on it. Notice how this low continues to deepen it up to a 993 and then it moves on. I'm not sure that I like the placement on this. A deepening low would probably not want to go this way. It would probably favor more of a track like this. So I think there are some issues that the model has still not got right here yet. But it would be a very similar type of a situation to what we had on Thursday, potentially. So we'll keep an eye on it. It's just one of those big storms that we can say, okay, the storm around March 8th, we want to keep an eye on that one. Just sort of put that into your mind, and we'll see in coming days how it goes. So beyond that, again, we have a few chances for some light snow on the backside of that system. I don't see any major storms really other than this March 8th one that potentially could affect us. When, we have a few of those, as I said, that kind of track along the southern Gulf Stream here around the March the 4th time frame. But I'm not convinced that this wouldn't be even suppressed further south, and that could miss us altogether. So we'll just have to see. The story of the month of March is really a battleground month anyway. February is usually our coldest month of winter, ironically. And then April, you're starting to warm up, and then you've got that March transition zone where you're battling it out in between. And so it looks like it's probably going to live up to be an active period in March where it's the battleground between the cold and the warm. So spring is right just around the corner, but unfortunately we've got that battleground in between that we're going to have to deal with. So temperature-wise, it's going to be cold. Rather than just showing you the exact temperature spreads for the sake of time, let me just show you what the GFS says the ensembles say for the next 15 days. We'll use the Evansville area here for the sake of just being representative of the southern part of the state. And you can see we're not looking at bitter cold on this. It does bring us down, as I said, into the low teens. The GFS model, this is the ensembles. The actual deterministic model takes us a little bit lower than this, but not that much. So you see, we get down fairly cold, and if you're talking 15 degrees when your overnight low should normally be 29, 30 degrees, well, again, you're 15 degrees or more below normal, so we're still looking at some significant cool downs. We don't even reach 50 in this time frame. We get close here. By the time we get through here, our normal high probably would be 54, 55 degrees by that time. So, we're still talking and looking at a very well below normal period for most days, with a few days becoming sort of seasonable. And that's sort of, unfortunately, where we're going to be heading. Okay, southernindianaweather.com. You can get your updated 7-day forecast. Go to the main page and you can click over here on 7-day forecast and get it. High of 44 today, mostly cloudy. Sun and clouds really more than anything. Times of being partly cloudy, times of being mostly cloudy. Few snow showers and rain showers sort of mixing in. It could be sort of one of those messy days. But again, I don't see this as anything that's going to stick, and I see it as more of a rain threat this afternoon as it gets even warmer, and as this line pushes into our area, it should change it over to all rain. We'll see, but even if it does stick it as just some light snow showers, it'll be the pretty type of snow showers that you can just enjoy because it's going to be too warm to stick to anything. Down to 21 tonight under mostly clear, under partly cloudy skies. Then on Monday, partly cloudy, colder, only 37 for a high, only 38 for a high on Tuesday, again down to 16 on Tuesday night. Here's the colder weather that I'm talking about. Wednesday, only a high of 23. Some bright sunshine and beautiful, but you got those cold northwest winds coming up to 15 miles per hour at time, going down to an 11 under clear skies on Wednesday night. As I said, it's going to get cold. Down to 19 on Thursday night. So again, thankfully we're not talking below zero weather, but we are talking about some cooler weather with this. And then you got a little bit of a warm up finally for the weekend, mostly cloudy and cold over the weekend. Chance of that rain on Friday afternoon changing to some of that light snow showers, maybe even some freezing drizzle on Friday night. We will work on that and see whether that pans out or not. And then just partly cloudy and cold, maybe some of that light snow lingering early on Saturday morning before it moves out and becomes a pretty nice day. So that's the story of what to expect over the next 7 days. In short, sweet, and to the point, I don't see any major storms that will affect us. Even the Friday and Saturday one doesn't look to be a very big storm at this point, and I do see lots of sun this week. So enjoy this week while you can for the sunshine. It's going to be a cold week, and that'll be the only downside of it. But the change in being sort of a non-active weather pattern will certainly be welcomed by many of us. That won't last forever. Enjoy it while it lasts. All right, folks, that is it for today's video update. We'll have another one of these out for tomorrow. Feel free to ask any questions you have on these as we post these on our Facebook page. For Southern Indiana Weather, I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite. Have a great day, folks.